Hello, champion. Welcome to yet another exciting class. I am Mrs. Ojamon. In our last lesson, we talked about nuclear and extended families. Today, we are going to be looking at marriage, what it entails to be married. Usually, a family starts with words, the agreement between a man and a woman, which is known as what? Marriage. So, marriage, by term of definition, is a legal or religious or customary ceremony that the families or that formalizes the decision of a man and a woman to live together as husband and wife. So therefore, remember that marriage is the agreement between a man and a woman to live together as husband and wife, which makes them family. Family is being related by blood, marriage, or adoption. So, daddy and mommy living together was born by marriage. We have types of marriages. We all know that there are different types of marriages or marriage arrangements. We have the monogamy arrangement, the polygamy marriage, the polyandry marriage, and polyandra marriage. Monogamy, which is a marriage between one man and one woman. Daddy marrying mommy, that is one man and one woman. That is known as what? Monogamy marriage. Then which brings us to polygamous marriage. The polygamous marriage is when a man marries more than one wife. A man marrying more than one wife, it's known as what? Polygamous marriage between a man and a woman. A man marrying two wives, three wives, as the case may be, is known as polygamous marriage. Then the polygam marriage is when a man also marries or has many wives. He has many wives as the numbers could be. Then the polyandry is when a woman has more than one husband. But this kind of marriage is usually not what accepted in Nigeria. It's usually not accepted in Nigeria when situation where you see a woman marrying more than one husband. In Nigeria, we have different religions and cultural ceremonies to formalize marriage. But there are predominantly two types of marriage that is accepted in Nigeria, which are the monogamy marriage and the polygamous marriage, that is the polygamy marriage. That is the only type of marriages that are accepted in Nigeria. So when you go for wedding and you see a man marrying more than one wife, you should know that that type of marriage is a polygamy marriage, is a polyandry. Okay, that type of marriage is a polyand marriage because the man is marrying more than one wife. The next one that we're going to look into, we're going to be looking at the elements of a Christian marriage. What does it mean to organize a wedding? What are the elements, first of all? The elements of a Christian marriage or a Christian wedding is it takes place in a church. Yes, the Christian weddings or what marriages are usually done in a church. The brides wear a white dress with a veil to cover her face. The bride and the groom exchange vows using the ring or the Bible. There is usually a bridal train with flower girls, bridesmaid, maid of honor, and a ring bearer. So that culminates the elements of a Christian wedding. Another element is a Muslim wedding. What does it entail? What are the elements to organize a Muslim wedding? A Muslim wedding is that type of wedding that usually takes place in a mosque. Yes, in a mosque, a house, or any other venue as agreed by the bride and groom or family. A nikah binds the groom together. A nikah is a wedding prayer which is said for the bride and the groom before the wedding is expected to take place. Also, the bride's face is covered with a veil. And at the end of the day, money is paid to the bride, which is known as what? A dowry. So we now know that the Muslim marriage or Muslim wedding takes place in a mosque, and the first thing is a nikah is performed on the woman, which is a wedding, Igbo wedding or Igbo traditional wedding. There is a process called the wine carrying. The bride carries wine for the groom. Gin and kola nuts are parts of the bride price. A bride price is paid to the bride's family, which is known as what? A dowry. And part of the ceremony includes the bride searching for the groom amongst the guests. So, the bride carries the wine and starts searching for her groom in the midst of the guests, just to make the ceremony interesting. So any wedding you go to and you see the bride carrying a glass of wine and try to be looking for the husband and searching, you just know that that wedding is the Igbo wedding. Then the Yoruba wedding. The Yoruba wedding is that wedding that there is a formal letter reading in the Yoruba wedding. And baskets of food are exchanged between the bride and the groom family. So the wedding takes place in the bride's house as other tribes. It takes place in the bride's house, and there is a reading of letters. That means the bride reads a letter to her husband, would-be husband, and the groom reads a letter to her would-be wife also. The groom family and bride's family exchange baskets of different fruits. And we also have the Hausa and Fulani traditional wedding. The bride and all her friends uses henna to decorate their hands and feet. It looks like a tattoo on their feet and on their hands. And the wedding usually takes place over a few days. That's when the wedding normally takes place. The wedding also takes place in the bride's house. To crown it all, the bride runs away from home and has to be caught a few days before the wedding. And that part is called the camel. That's the fun of it. The bride and the groom, the bride runs away or runs to somewhere that the groom doesn't know, and the groom tries to find out, where would my wife be? Where would my would-be be? Where is my bride? Do you understand? It's interesting, and I know you're having fun already. So that brings us to managing marriage. When two people get married, there is usually just the beginning of a lifetime of how to learn to live with one another in understanding. There are so many reasons which may make couple to have what misunderstanding. Lack of proper communication, interference from third parties, financial problems. Then couple have to be faithful and honest with each other. They have to love each other and be faithful. So all through this class, we looked at the meaning of marriage, the types of marriage, the different elements of wedding, and how to manage conflicts in our marriage. I hope you enjoyed your class. Until I meet again, please don't forget to do your quiz. For now, bye. You are loved.